Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to our Spring Success live stream this afternoon. My name is Hayden Lau. I am with the Housing and Residence Life Office. I serve as a marketing coordinator there. Today we have three special guests. They are experts in their area to talk about some of the academic resources that you can utilize now, moving into midterms and thinking ahead to finals. So our three representatives today, first we have Kiara Kumar from the Student Academic Resource Center. We have Dylan Castillo from the Knights Major Exploration and Transition Center, and Renee Cole Montgomery from the UCF Library. So thank you all so much for being here with us today. I will now turn it over to each of you to just give an overview of your area and the different services that you offer. So we will start with you, Kiara.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. So as Hayden said, I represent the Student Academic Resource Center, also known as SARC, most commonly on campus. And I am a coordinator there, so I oversee three of the services that we offer. So I'm going to just explain a little more about our department and what services we offer for students. So the Student Academic Resource Center is UCF's learning center on campus. So we are primarily known for our tutoring, but we do have a lot of other services available as well. And as a reminder, all of these services are free for our students. So we offer something called academic coaching, which I'll be explaining some more in detail, a new program this fall called online instructional peer coaching. We have tutoring both in a group format and available for one-on-one appointments. We have something called supplemental instruction, which is similar to tutoring. And then we have a few other services that I will also be mentioning. I'm going to start with the Academic Coaching and Engagement Program. That is one of the programs that I oversee. It's also known as ACE. So in this program, students will virtually meet with a coach for about an hour. And a coach is a UCF student. So I hire UCF students, both graduates and undergraduates. So if you have a preference of someone that you'd like to work with, you can select that when filling out your request form for these appointments. But the coach and the student will work together to really assess the student's academic needs and figure out what they need the most help with. So this is not a content-specific program. So we're not talking specifically about biology. We're not talking specifically about political science, for example. But instead, we're working on those academic skills that are really important for students to succeed, but are not necessarily taught by any professors. So we're talking about things like time management, study skills, test anxiety and test prep, note-taking skills, learning styles, organization, motivation, goal setting. And then we'll also refer to different campus resources as needed. So a lot of times in sessions, we'll refer to a student's advisor, or we'll refer them to the counseling center on campus, just so that students are aware of other services on campus while they're getting the help that they need from the ACE program. The OIPC program, Online Instructional Peer Coaching Program, is a new one this fall. And this is also a program that I oversee, and it's with the same coaching staff as the ACE program. Again, these sessions are virtual this fall, and the length of the session can vary depending on the student's needs. But in this program, we're really helping students navigate their online courses. So we thought this would be a really beneficial program for students, as we are mostly remote this fall. A lot of students are in their online courses, either partially online or fully online education. So here in these sessions, we cover things like how to navigate web courses. So whether that be the calendar function or the inbox function, learning where assignments are and how to check your own grade on web courses. We also can talk about how to understand the differences and the different options for courses. So some of our classes are mixed mode, they have a face-to-face component or something like that. And some of them are completely online and the student goes at their own pace to complete the course. So really understanding what your online course is and how it's set up. Making sure that you understand the syllabus and how to use the syllabus to map out your assignments for the semester and map out a plan for success. And then really just goal setting. So making sure that you have some goals set for your online education, working on motivation and persistence. We are finding now, especially as it's been 6 weeks into the semester, I think already, a lot of students are coming in with motivation issues. It's hard to be studying from home or working from home or, competing with family obligations, whatever that looks like. So our coaches can provide guidance with those types of issues. To request one of these appointments, students can go to our website. So if you just Google SARC UCF, there's a services tab and all of our services are listed under there. And under the ACE/OIPC page, there's a section called Schedule an Appointment. And you would just go fill out that information with your name, your availability, which program you're wanting to attend, whether it's ACE or OIPC. And then one of my staff will get back to you in a couple of days with an appointment time based on your availability. This has been really helpful for students. ACE has been around for 7 years, and it's already a well-established and good program that our students have benefited from years. But we are really excited about the online instructional peer coaching program, because with this new need arising with us being remote and students learning online, we think this is going to be a really great addition to the services that we're already offering at SARC. So I really encourage you to take advantage of one of those programs. We also offer tutoring. So our tutoring has generally been in a group format, and just last summer we started offering one-on-one tutoring, and you can sign up online similar to how you would sign up for an ACE coaching appointment. Some tutors are available throughout the week, so you can kind of pick and choose whatever works with your schedule. So for tutoring, we tutor for high DFW courses. So that means high dropout classes. Students are either getting a D, they're getting an F, or they're taking a W, which is a withdrawal. So they're withdrawing from the course. We tutor a lot of STEM courses, so math, some physics, some bio and chem, a little bit of econ, and we have some business courses offered as well. Our tutoring schedule is posted on our website, and it does change every semester, so we encourage students to go check out that website for the most up-to-date information. And this semester, all of our tutoring sessions except for 2 are online. So just keep that in mind as well as you're looking at that schedule. We offer something called Supplemental Instruction. So this is also known as SI, and it's similar to tutoring, but the SI leader is actually attending your class with you. So they've already taken the class, they've already earned an A in that class, but they're retaking it with you and sitting in on those lectures, whether they be virtual or in person, and then reviewing whatever content you covered that week in class with you during the SI sessions. So this is another group session that's offered. It's offered 4 times a week. You can go as many times as you want. And again, it's offered for a variety of courses. So that schedule is posted on our website as well. But again, it supports a lot of those STEM courses that I had previously mentioned. That's also supported by tutoring. It's just a really nice low stakes environment for students to collaboratively learn. The SI leader is never giving out answers. So it's not a place you just go to find your answers. But instead, the students in the session are working together to find out the answers and figure out the content of the course. So both tutoring and SI are content-based, which means they're attached to specific classes and you're reviewing the class content, versus the 2 coaching programs I mentioned before do not cover class content. They cover kind of all the things outside of the class content that's going to help you succeed in the class. We also offer a few other services. I also oversee our series of academic workshops that we offer every fall and spring semester. We have 6 workshops that are facilitated by our graduate assistants who are UCF graduate students, and they talk about topics that are similar to the ACE program. So we just did, in September, we did a workshop on time management, and then we did a workshop on goal setting. And students attend these virtually. Our GAs will send through the file function on Zoom. They'll send different handouts and worksheets that students can work on during the workshop, or they can work on it later on their own time. So those are really beneficial for students. If you didn't want to do a one-on-one appointment, but you still wanted to get that information, you can either attend those virtually or you can watch them later on SARC's YouTube channel, because we post all of our workshops on there after they take place. We also have something called Study Union. This is a really popular event that we have. This is offered every spring and fall during finals week. And we host over 90 review sessions for a variety of classes. And these review sessions are led by the SI leaders and the tutors. So keep your eye out. Probably in November, we'll be posting that schedule on our website. And again, Study Union will be virtual this fall. We also have something called SARC Online. So I have previously talked about topics that we cover in ACE, like time management, study skills, note-taking, learning styles. So if you go to SARC Online, we have a ton of handouts covering all these different topics that you can just download on your own. So if you didn't want to make an ACE appointment, you're not really comfortable with the group activities that we have or the group workshops, you can go whenever you want, 24/7 onto SARC Online and look through some of those handouts on your own. And we also hire every semester. So we hire for our lab leaders, who are our front desk workers. We hire for coaches, we hire for tutors, we hire for SI leaders. And then depending on the rotation of graduate assistants that we have, we will hire for graduate assistants now and then. And that position comes with a tuition waiver and a stipend. So we will be posting jobs probably within the next couple weeks. So please go ahead and check our employment page on our website. So I just wanted to let you all know about all the different services we offer. As I said before, we're primarily known for tutoring, but as you can see, we offer a ton of other really beneficial services that students can take advantage of, all for free. Thank you.
Thank you, Kiara. That was a great overview of all that SARC offers. So now we will hand it over to Renee, and she will talk about the UCF Library.
Hi, everybody. My name's Renee Cole Montgomery, and I work at the John C. Hitt Library, so the main campus library that's available there. There's a lot of stuff that I could tell you about the library, but I'm going to try and hit on some of the main points that might be useful. So there are a number of libraries that are affiliated with UCF. Like I mentioned, the one that I work at is the John C. Hitt Library on the main campus here in Orlando, but we do have many other libraries. So depending on where you are right now, if you're a virtual student completely, there are other libraries that, of course, you can have access to. So, of course, our newest one is downtown. We also have on this campus as well, on the main campus, is a Curriculum Materials Center. So that one is in the education building, so that one would be helpful too. And then we also have one for Rosen, so for the College of Hospitality. And then, of course, we also have our Health Sciences Library, so that would be the College of Medicine. So those are really the closest ones, but if you are also in another town, then you might know about our Connect libraries. So there's many of them that are out there. All of us pretty much offer some of the same services and, of course, resources that are available. But just to give you an idea of kind of all of the libraries that are affiliated with UCF. The area that I specifically work in, we mostly work with undergraduate students, a lot of SLS, ENC classes as well. So our department is teaching and engagement. So I am the outreach and engagement librarian, so I do a lot of things like this as well. And we work closely with students to try and help them with tips and things that can help them be better researchers, find articles, resources that they need for their courses quicker. So we develop a lot of things online that can be helpful as well. But for the library in general, one of the biggest things that I always try and point out, especially right now, whether you're on campus student or if you are doing something virtually, is we do have our Ask a Librarian service. So this one reaches everybody. It doesn't really matter where you are. But the biggest one, of course, is chat. So it's really easy to chat with us. You can do this from anywhere. We have people locally that chat with us to ask questions about services or resources that we have. We also have instant message. We have texting. You can call, of course, and email. So that's really a big Ask a Librarian service. So there's many ways right now, especially if you're a virtual student. If you have questions about the library, or if you have questions about how to do research or how to access any of our resources, that's going to be the biggest thing that you're going to want to try and find on our homepage. And it's right there. As soon as you get to our homepage, you can see all of the hours that are offered for each of those as well, too. Of course, one of the most popular things too is our LibTech desk. So if you're a completely new student, this is one of the places you'd want to get to know in the library. So this is a little bit more for those students that might have classes that are on campus. So our LibTech desk is quite popular. Other students can probably tell you about it, but we think it's really helpful this semester as well, because even if you're a local student and you're taking classes online, you could still come into the library. So the LibTech desk has, I feel like, hundreds of things that you can check out. But of course, our biggest ones are iPads and laptops. We also have cameras, video recorders, lots of different charging devices that are available too. The only thing right now currently this semester that's not being checked out that was previously in the past would be headphones. So this is quite helpful. If you are a student, you need a laptop, you need an iPad. These are things that can be checked out from the library and taken home for an extended amount of time. There are some changes, of course. There are some restrictions. When they come back in, they do go through a thorough cleaning and have to stay in the library for a little bit before we actually check them out to another student. But do look into that. There's a great link on our website. It will list everything that we have available, how long you can check them out. But that is one of probably the top places or the popular desk. So for anybody who's a returning student, that desk has now changed. If you're completely new, then it doesn't really affect you. But previously for the library, there was one main entrance until this fall. So the library has been undergoing, of course, kind of construction for quite a while, and most of that is pretty much complete. We were really sad that it couldn't be a grand opening, that we can kind of show off everything that has been completed. But one of those biggest ones, of course, is a brand new entrance. So if you are on campus, there is a new entrance from the student union side. Students and faculty have been requesting this for a long time, so it's a great big entrance, a lot bigger than our previous one. But now we have two. So that new one, as I mentioned, is from the student union side. I usually say Chick-fil-A because all students know where our Chick-fil-A is. So it's really right next door to Chick-fil-A. And then, of course, we have our legacy entrance. So that's the one that's across from Milliken Hall or where Spirit Splash takes place. So both of those are currently existing right now. So the LibTech desk used to be on the 3rd floor. It has moved now to our main floor. And I will say probably one of the trickiest parts of the John C. Hitt Library is when you enter, you're actually on the 2nd floor. We've always referred to it as the main floor, but it's only important, and maybe if you're in an elevator or a stairwell, just look for 2, and that'll get you to either of our entrances or exits now at this time too. And just to give you a little bit of information, you are free to look at our website with all of the beautiful pictures, or if you are on campus, you might want to check out some of the new spaces that we have. One of the ones that's going to be quite popular is our new 4th floor reading room. So it's a beautiful space. It's over our ARC, which was something that was completed a while back. It has these beautiful, lovely windows all the way around the front that kind of look over the student union and beyond. So I think that's going to be quite popular. One of our big questions is, where can I find a quiet space in the library? It's a little different these days, of course, with social distancing and everything, and not a lot of folks on campus. So probably all floors are quite quiet now. But our 5th floor has always been known to be quiet. And then this new 4th floor reading room will also be another spot. So if you are looking for a spot on campus, those are the 2 that I recommend for in the library. And then, of course, we have a lot of other spaces. The circulation desk, so that's where you could check out materials, has moved. It is now located right when you enter that new entrance from the student union side. So just a couple of changes that have kind of taken place. And then, of course, as a library, I have to mention, of course, that we have all of these wonderful resources that are available. And it doesn't really matter if you're here in person or if you're virtual. It was one of the nice things, I guess, for the library. A lot of our resources was available online already. So our students weren't really restricted from a lot of things, not being able to come to campus. So there's tons of those. You can always ask. If you have questions, I'd be happy to address those too. But we have hundreds of databases that you can access, many full-text online journals, of course, librarians and staff that are available to kind of help you through Ask a Librarian, our subject librarians too. So these are some of the big ones that would be able to address any questions about how to find those resources that we have. And of course, we are still checking out materials. We can also mail them to you if you don't want to come into the library or if you are not located here locally. So we can mail actual physical books to you, and then you can mail those back to us as well. So we're trying to work around some of the things that of course, all of us are having to deal with some of the new restrictions that are here. And then one of the biggest things too that I always mention is, as a student, even as a faculty member, everybody has their own librarian. And I know that might sound a little overwhelming, right? One librarian for maybe an entire college or department, but we do have that broken down for you. So there's our Ask a Librarian service, but we also have a librarian who works with nursing or with education or engineering, all of the departments or colleges on campus. And so you could email them, you could schedule an online session with them at the moment, and they could assist you with any of your research questions as well. So the big thing I really want to leave with all of you, since I can't cover all of the resources and services we have, is just to contact us. And our Ask a Librarian service is our biggest point of contact right now, whether you're in person or if you're an online student as well. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Renee. Lots of good information, lots of good helpful tips and tricks about the library there as well. So thank you for sharing. Dylan, we will now hand it over to you to talk about the KMETC, or the Knights Major Exploration and Transition Center.
Definitely. Thank you, Hayden. So for everybody watching, I do have a small presentation I'd like to give about our office that will include information about who we are, what exactly we do on our office, the students that we serve, and additionally any sort of resource links. So let me go ahead and pull that up now. And Aiden, if you could just verify with me that the screen is in fact shared there. Let me start. There we go.
There we go.
All right, everybody can see everything? Good. All right, so once again, my name is Dylan Castillo. I'm an academic advisor for the Knights Major Exploration Transition Center. We are actually a brand new office that exists on the UCF campus. We literally just opened up this May in the midst of the COVID pandemic, which has been kind of a unique challenge of sorts. But nonetheless, we were first year advising previously, where we served all incoming freshmen for their first year. But now we're primarily working with students who are undeclared, undecided, and major exploring. So once again, we're a full service academic advising office. We work with all new incoming students who are coming in during orientation as undeclared. So if you came in during orientation and you were undeclared, in other words, you originally had a major, but you changed yourself to undeclared before your orientation session, you more than likely met with one of us in the KMETC. We also serve current students. So those who have decided that, hey, I'm not certain about my major anymore. Maybe I might want to look into something else. Or maybe I want to take a moment to explore, or I know that I don't want to go towards the major I'm currently moving towards. So we work with students who are also looking to explore, in addition to students who are readmitted to the university. So for those that have left for whatever reason and came back as undeclared. And for students who also are what's called redirected. These are students who are in certain limited access programs, for example, or restricted access programs like the College of Engineering, where they may have a progress policy. And for students who go through those programs but don't meet progress metrics, progress marks, there's a possibility that they might be removed from the college from those majors. So if students fall into that particular category, they actually come talk to us and we help them with finding a new major direction. So once again, we're a full academic advising office that offers service for our undeclared students, for students looking to explore majors who are uncertain, those who are readmitted, and those who are redirected as well. So when I say that we're a full service advising office, in particular, what I mean is that we provide, obviously, advising during orientation, including schedule planning. We focus with students during summer, fall, and spring, during the semesters with one-on-one advising sessions, whether that's in person, although lately it's been virtual just because of the current situation that we're currently going underneath, and I'll talk a little bit more about what that looks like. But we help students with course planning, registration, how to interpret UCF policies and procedures. Primarily, our main feature, what we focus on, is our major exploration program, which looks at personalized action plans for your specific needs, your goals, and looking what you're to achieve. So whether you're completely undecided about a major or you're pretty close to making a decision, you just need a couple of additional hints, information, whatever it might be, we serve you all. So no matter where you fall on that spectrum, if you're looking to explore majors, if you're undeclared, we can provide not only those exploration services, but even the general advising services as well. The other big thing that we do in addition to that is, of course, connect students with appropriate colleges that they're considering to be a part of, so the majors within certain colleges and even departments. But in addition to that, resource offices, kind of like the library that we have here today, housing, SARC, and so on. Another thing that we do as well, and I'll bring a couple of these up because we do have an event coming up next week for our office for our virtual majors fair. We also provide student programming. So whether that's through different workshops, events, or university initiatives that we may have. As we are a new office, we're in the process of still building some of our programming content. But I do want to point out that next week, fall 2020, on October 7th, which is next Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., we're going to be hosting what's called the Virtual Majors Fair. This was something that we did in the past in person, but given that most of us are remote, we're looking to provide this as an opportunity for students who are either exploring, considering different majors, and those who are undeclared, undecided, an opportunity to actually come anytime during that time to speak with a college representative from any majors that they're considering. Our office is going to be there along with a few other resource offices like pre-health, pre-law advising for those students who are looking to go into either law or health professions, career services, and so on. So I do have this link here in the PowerPoint. This is something that we can share in the chat. In order to attend the Majors Fair, we ask for you to go to our website, to go to the Majors Fair section and RSVP for the event. When you RSVP for the event, it will ask you to RSVP for a particular time, but we're not holding students to be available at that specific time. Let's say that if your schedule, you're in classes or something, or things overflow, you become busy for whatever reason, you can attend during that time, anytime between 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Just make sure to RSVP and we'll work with you if you're outside of your regular schedule, the time that you indicated. Another thing that we're holding here in the future for fall later this month in October is a workshop that we've done every semester in the past that we're also going to be doing virtually now, is called What Does a W Really Mean? So this is for students who are potentially looking to withdraw. Once again, for the students that we serve who are undeclared, undecided, who are looking to change majors. But once again, because the withdrawal deadline is approaching near the end of this month, we want to provide students an opportunity to learn more. What exactly does a W mean? What does that mean when you withdraw from class? What does that look like, and so on? And some of those additional initiatives, as I'd mentioned earlier, we host the Think 30 campaign, which gets students to think about taking at least 30 credit hours a year to be able to graduate on time, and recommendations with that. And of course, for the Tau Sigma and Phi Eta Sigma fraternities as well, that we host not first year, but different award initiatives for those particular populations. So as I'd mentioned, these resources, some of the main ones that we utilize, of course, is the My UCF portal. That's where you can find your MyNight audit. You can change your major through there. Of course, that's where you have holds and to-dos. One thing to note, if you are part of our office, you come in undeclared or you're redirected, you will actually have a hold on your account with our office as you go through certain major exploration program requirements. But if you're exploring majors, if you currently have a declared major and you're looking to change that, you're not going to have any holds on your account or anything. But nonetheless, we primarily use the MyUCF portal to not only look at those bits of information, but even to do what's called a what-if degree audit, and kind of run through that if you were considering a specific major, and let's say that you came in with like AP, IB, ACE, CLEP, dual enrollment, where do those classes apply? So we can take a look at, for certain majors, what requirements already met and what you would still need in the exploration process. I shared with Hayden earlier these 3 links. So we'll probably get those out to you. The first link here is for our division website, where we fall underneath the Student Success and Advising. Their website has a ton of great resources, not just for linking information on who the different colleges are at UCF, how to contact them, but they even have different PDF guides for things like, how do I change my major? How do I check my grades? How do I calculate my GPA? So for some of those academic related pieces, they're an excellent resource there. They of course include our website and our contact information. But as you can imagine, on our website, we also include information regarding major exploration. So that link right here will kind of take you towards things like some of the self-assessments. One of the main ones that we like to use in our office is an assessment called the My Plan. And if you're formally a part of the MEP program, we'll actually require you to do that and take time to meet with us to go over those results, where it looks at your personality, your interests, your values, your skill set. And we kind of match that towards different majors and kind of start the conversation with career advising, where we then refer you to career services for further information. And once again, for the virtual majors fair here, this is the registration link explicitly. Up on the KMETC website, you can find information on the virtual majors fair as well. But the bottom link that I have here will bring you to the RSVP page, to where that you can go ahead and sign up for that if you're looking to participate. Now, excuse me, if you do participate for the event, if you do RSVP for it and you decide that you cannot attend for whatever reason, no harm, no foul. But of course, we'd highly encourage that if you do RSVP, that you do attend. So once again, that's how you can access that there. Another main resource, and one thing that we typically do with students as we're talking about different majors, is we introduce them to the Undergraduate Catalog. The Undergraduate Catalog is kind of the student hand guide for all undergraduate students, but we use it explicitly to, of course, help students get an idea of what majors are available, what minors are available, certificates that are available, what's required for them, if they're limited access programs where they're competitive to get in, if they're restricted access where you might need certain major requirements to move forward. The catalog contains information regarding course descriptions, contact information for various resource offices, of course, academic policies and procedures. But it's basically our right-hand guide that we use to navigate and helping students understand what exactly UCF has to offer and what students need to do to meet those requirements for majors, minors, and certificate programs. So the link for that here is catalog.ucf.edu, but you can, of course, go into Google, or if you're meeting with one of us, to ask us about how to access that, and you can find it pretty easily there. So while we're a full service academic advising office, we do differ from UCF academic college advising offices. So once again, our office actually does fall underneath the College of Undergraduate Studies, which shares majors with the Interdisciplinary Studies program and the Environmental Studies program. But we fall underneath that because we're more of a general advising office that helps students get connected with the different colleges here. So for those of you that are still new to UCF and not are quite aware of all the colleges that are offered, that we have here, these are the various colleges that exist at UCF, and every single one of them has their own academic advising office. So as you're meeting with us, as you're talking about major exploration, if you're considering certain majors or you have very specific questions, even once you decide on a major, you're looking to do things like a 4-year schedule plan, solving academic issues like with your records or whatever it might be, we would refer you directly to the college. Each one of our advisors in our office is in contact with a specific individual within specific individual advisors within the college advising offices. So, for example, I'm a liaison for the College of Engineering and Computer Science for any students who are thinking about going into those particular areas, whether it's engineering, your mechanical, aerospace, industrial, and so on, your computer science, or infotech. I would refer you to not just their office, but if you have very specific questions, to one of their specific advisors for further information. So for those of you that are declared, I ask you this question: which colleges does your major belong to? If you're not quite sure of that, feel free to either reach out to our office or myself individually to let me know, and I can kind of help you with that. But if you're not sure, let us know, or if you're unsure whether you want to switch, definitely talk to us as well. But as I had mentioned, these are the different colleges where all the over 150, 80-something majors fall underneath. So if you're looking to contact us, contact the KMETC Center, or to contact the different college advising offices. Once again, the Student Success and Advising website, the link that I shared earlier that had a list of those resources, they do have a list of the college advising contacts, how to get a hold of those college offices, advising offices. If you feel that, you know what, I'm pretty certain I may want to do something in, let's say, the College of Sciences. I'm thinking either biology or chemistry, but I'm not sure. We can refer you directly to them. But if you're a little bit more undecided or just need somebody to talk to kind of shuffle ideas, to pour out some thoughts, to get some feedback, reflection, definitely feel free to contact us through our phone number, our email as well. And you'll be able to meet with us at basically any point in time, as long as it's between Monday and Friday, 9 and 4 p.m. But really quick, some additional academic advising offices that we do want to mention. Our resource offices would be the Registrars Office. So for those of you that are coming in with AP, IB, ACE, CLEP, dual enrollment, make sure that you're checking your MyUCF to see that you don't have any holds. Because for some of those that are missing incoming documents, whether they be transcripts and so on, you may have holds from those particular offices that you'll need to contact and get that information to. But the Registrar's Office focuses on policies and procedures. They're the ones that update the Undergraduate Catalog. Of course, they offer different forms and processes as it relates towards the back end of things. And they uphold the academic calendar, which includes all important dates and deadlines, like the withdrawal deadline, when you can start registering for classes, when your tuition is due, and so on. Academic services we also mentioned as well, because they focus on record changes, but this is really for students who are coming in with credit and may need to get that evaluated. If you're, let's say that you are close to junior status and you're considering maybe stopping attending classes at UCF for a little bit, or you really just want to hit a benchmark, one of the big services that academic services does is provide students with the opportunity to apply for their AA degree. The one thing I share with students is that an AA degree, if you're going for a bachelor's at UCF, you're going to earn the AA along the way. It's just not automatically given to you. So it's something that you apply, and that's one of the things that we can talk to you about as well, especially if you're on the fence with things and you really just need a bookmark to kind of get an idea of where to explore next. But nonetheless, we talk about additional offices beyond those two, but those are some of the primary ones we may want to keep in mind. And of course, in addition to, of course, the college advising offices and our office, if you're undeclared, if you're exploring, undecided, or fall into one of either the redirect or readmitted statuses. So as we're in October now. It feels like that fall just began, but the reality is that we're now starting to get close, actually halfway through the semester, which means that spring registration is right around the corner. So for most freshman sophomore students, registration isn't going to happen until early November. For junior, senior students, it's going to happen a little bit later in October. If you're in an undeclared status, your registration time will be a little bit later, but it's not usually too big of a concern. But as I mentioned, in addition to helping students explore majors, we meet with our incoming FTIC, our freshman students who are undeclared, and help them with schedule planning. So a couple of things to keep in mind, that the max amount of credit hours that you can take in a fall and spring term is 17 hours. But obviously we don't recommend that because that can be a pretty heavy load. For the summer, that's going to be about 14 hours. So in order to be full-time, really you just have to make sure that you're taking at least 12 credit hours, which is typically 4 classes. So 4 to 5 is what we recommend. If you're less than 12 hours, you're considered part-time, which may have impacts on things like financial aid and so on. But if you're uncertain where you fall with that, you can definitely reach out to us or one of the college advisors if you're thinking about a particular major to get additional information. We focus on prerequisite coursework, co-requisite coursework, but main things that we want students to consider when they're schedule planning. Definitely, I recommend at least once a semester, consult with your academic advisor. We exist for you specifically to help you guide any potential pitfalls, how to navigate classes, connecting you with campus, with resources on campus through our office, and so on. But connecting with your advisor each semester is important to help you avoid any unforeseen and unnecessary deviations of graduation. We also help you as you're looking for schedule planning, consider what it is that you're planning, whether you have any gen eds remaining, if you're undecided, focusing on potentially some exploratory courses, and of course making sure that the schedule that you're building is balanced. But if you're meeting with an advisor, we'll ensure all of that. And especially if you have a declared major, you can meet with your college advising office for spring schedule planning, and you can still come back to talk to us if you're undecided. So I just wanted to point that out as you're looking to schedule plan, which is going to be sometime this month. I recommend for those of you that are listening, students who are currently here at UCF, if you can, reach out to either our office or your academic advising office through your college to start schedule planning early, because I've been doing this for about close to 10 years and appointments fill up quick. And even though we're virtual, I have a feeling that everybody is going to try to meet with an advisor as it gets real close to schedule planning, as it gets close to enrollment, and that will create a bottleneck. So the earlier the better. Now is a perfect time to reach out for schedule planning. So some quick final tips, pro tips from an advisor coming from myself here. So as we're talking with students, whether exploring majors, whether it's looking at courses, or taking into consideration certain opportunities, we want you to set realistic and attainable advising goals each semester. It's important that you develop a plan of action to be successful so that you have steps along the way, but also know what to do if things deviate from that. And it's very important that you have a support system with that so that you're sharing that plan of action with not just family, but friends as well, those that you consider in your support group. It is highly encouraged that you not only establish a strong working relationship with your instructors, with your fellow students, but even with your academic advisors. One thing that students don't always take into consideration is that because we're individuals that you can meet with throughout the duration of your undergraduate journey, we could be potential resources for those looking to connect afterwards, like whether that's graduate school, providing other opportunities. For example, for students who, let's see here. I'm sorry, I just lost my train of thought with that. Establish strong working with academic advisors, faculty members. So one of the things that most students don't quite take into consideration is that in building a strong relationship with your academic advisor, one, you have somebody that has a history of working with you who can help you solve any issues a lot quicker along the way that you haven't established rapport with. But two, even, and I've done this for a number of my own students, we are even individuals you can reach out to for letters of recommendation depending on that strength of that relationship. So we are definitely an individual you want in our corner, and definitely get to know us. That is why we're here, is to really get to know and help you all. So we would more than love to connect with you that way. One of the biggest tips that I can give to any student who is listening here is get involved. Whether that's through clubs on campus, organizations on campus, attending workshops such as this, speaking with advisors, looking at internships, job shadowing, and so on. It is extremely important to get involved, because what you're doing in classroom is literally just only a small piece of what you should be doing overall as a student when it comes to not just graduating, but looking forward into your career path. Individuals that are looking to hire students are going to be looking at, okay, we see that you've studied this, you may have had excellent grades, but what else have you done? Where does your experience lie? So if you're not sure where to get involved, guess what? You can come talk to us and we can help you with looking to get involved on campus there. So if you have any questions, my contact information is at the bottom for the office. It's right over here. But that's basically the summation of my little presentation here. So feel free to ask any questions that you may have, and definitely to reach out in the meantime if you don't have a question today, but maybe later on, to let us know. We're going to be here for you. So I'll leave this up for a quick second if you want to take a second to kind of write down the information. And then I'll go ahead and stop sharing here. And feel free to reach out in the chat if you need that contact info. I can provide that for everybody here. So I'll go ahead and stop this now.
Thank you so much, Dylan. Lots of really great information there about all of the many things that the KMETC offers. We did add some links that, as Dylan was speaking to, the things he was speaking about. So different website resources, that virtual major affair. So definitely check that out. Register now. And good advice to go ahead and set up those appointments now before they start filling up. So we will switch gears a bit now, and I will ask each of our panelists for their areas what is open right now, virtually or in person. If you need to make an appointment for those resources, how would you do so? Or if you need to reserve a space at the library, for instance. So Kiara, if we could start with you again.
Sure. So like I had said when I was speaking earlier, most of our services are virtual this fall through SARC. Both of my coaching programs are 100% virtual. There's 2 tutoring and 1 SI session offered per week in person, which is almost nothing. So the rest of our services for tutoring and SI are also online. Our academic workshops are all online, and everything that we do is through Zoom. So for the coaching programs, you can go online and request an appointment, and then a staff member from my staff will get back with you. And then the tutoring and SI schedules that are posted on our website actually contain the links to those Zoom meetings. So if you want to attend one of those, you just go right to the schedule and click on the hyperlink there. For the academic workshops, we also have our workshop schedule posted on our website. The hyperlinks are listed in there. And also, as I said before, if you don't have time to attend those workshops virtually when they're taking place, they are available on SARC's YouTube channel after.
Thank you, Kiara. Renee, I'll hand it over to you for the library.
Hi. So I jotted down some notes because everything's a little bit different. The library is open. All of our libraries are actually open. They do all have shortened hours, of course, condensed hours. So there's not a lot of late night hours. That's probably the biggest thing for the John C. Hitt Library on the main campus. So we are not open any late night hours at the moment. They're just kind of playing it by ear, of course, and then we don't know what spring will look like yet. So at the moment, of course, you can see all of the hours listed on everybody's homepage. Service desks are all open in the John C. Hitt Library. I'll speak specifically for that one since it's on the main campus. So you can get to those. All of those physically have somebody there except for reference. So reference right now is doing telereference. So the reference librarians, my department, which is teaching and engagement, we are, of course, all working from home. So when you walk up to the reference desk, there's 2 big monitors and you'll see a librarian's face on one of them. So they'll know when you approach the desk, and then you can ask your questions like you normally would. And on the other screen, they can kind of walk you through the library's homepage or whatever questions that you're asking about research. So you can still get all of those needs met for each of our service desks as well. Our special collections department, though, you do have to have an appointment. So on the website, you can either email them or you can call them to set up that appointment. So I think that's the only one that really requires an appointment ahead of time. Of course, we are requiring face coverings in the library. We have physically distanced everything in the library, so it looks quite odd, of course, with all of the chairs and tables moved apart. They just last week, or maybe the beginning of this week, things, of course, keep changing, open the study rooms. So those have been quite popular, of course, all of the time, but right now they have only opened a handful of them, and it's single person use only. So that is still something that you can request in advance. That link's on the website. It's really easy to find from our library's homepage as well. Let's see these other ones. So as I mentioned, we are doing the books by mail, so that's a possibility too. That even, or if you come to the library and check out books and you don't want to come back into the library, we do have several book drops around campus where you can drop those off as well too. Let's see. For things that you could normally check out, I know this might have questions for some students. So as I mentioned, they're not doing headphones. For those students who used to come in all the time for the anatomy models, unfortunately, they're not checking those out this semester. And then we're also not checking out any dry erase markers. Although I do know we have some machines in there where you could purchase them if you still wanted to use our rolling whiteboards that are located. And then, of course, we are, since we're a library and things are being checked out and coming back in, we are taking all of the precautions necessary. So everything that comes back in has to be quarantined for a certain amount of hours, to be disinfected, cleaned, and then to be set aside before it can be checked out or loaned back out to another student or faculty as well. So those are some of the big ones.
Thank you, Renee. And Dylan, if you could share any updates for your area.
Sure. So as of right now, our office is primarily offering our advising services remotely. And that's, of course, for students who are looking to explore majors, those undecided, undeclared, who fall into our particular populations that we serve. Our office is open from Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Most of our advisors usually start seeing students around 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. But we connect with students through Zoom virtually. If you're looking to make an appointment, you can definitely reach out to our front office, either the phone, via email, to set up that appointment. Usually our appointments last for about an hour. Every Wednesday for a small bit of time, we are holding some in-person walk-in advising sessions, but there is a little bit of red tape that you need to go through before you can come in to visit our office during those times. And we're primarily working with students remotely through that as well. So if you're looking to have speak with an advisor really quick, and you can't walk in during that time, which is Wednesdays from 1 to 5 p.m., we do have a virtual Zoom session that you can kind of just pop in and ask some quick questions and leave. And we do promote those services on our website. So once again, typically on Wednesdays, we usually do in-person walk-ins, but for this semester, they're going to be offered primarily virtually at the latter half for the entire day, and in person for the latter half of the day. But once again, if you have quick questions, it might just be easier to pop on the Zoom to ask us. Now, as far as spring is concerned, we're not quite sure as of yet, mainly because the university still has yet to provide any sort of word regarding what spring is going to look like for classes and so on. But for right now, we would say just to be safe to anticipate us with being virtual. But nonetheless, we found that for our students who are connecting with us virtually, there really hasn't been too big of a missing component with that, other than, of course, the lack of personal contact. But we find that it actually works extremely well for students. In some cases, actually a little bit better, because we're able to provide direct resources right to the student. The student can share their screen to show us like what if they've done certain assessments, things that they have, if they're running into issues like trying to sign up for something. It's also possible for me to share information much easier and to basically provide what you need right then and there without having to give you a bunch of pieces of paper, for example, or just scrawled out links on a random PDF document. So it tends to actually be a little bit more direct and personal, but nonetheless, for spring, those are office hours, once again, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. We're meeting with students primarily virtually. For our major exploration appointments, those for an hour apiece. In addition to that, schedule planning sessions for this semester and for next semesters are usually about a half hour just to focus on schedule planning. That's primarily the updates. For the spring semester, we're looking to have a couple of events then as well. As of the moment, we're still building some of those, but if you cannot attend the virtual majors fair for the fall semester, we're looking to hold that every semester, including in the spring. So if you miss it this semester, not a big deal. Check in with us in the spring, and yeah, we'd more than love to connect with you.
Thank you, Dylan. And I know all of our areas also have social media accounts that you can follow and get updates on different events and things, good reminders. So I definitely would like to promote those now as well. So we are getting near to the end of our time. I did just want to put some contact information for each of our guests here. So I will just go ahead and add the phone number and the email for the KMETC Center if you want to just take a quick picture. We also have this information in the comments, but just to offer that for you for those services. And just another shout out to go ahead and schedule those advising appointments and be aware of those important dates that are coming up. And for SARC, the phone number and the email as well. So for all of the services that Kiara mentioned, which was a lot of really great information and things that you can definitely start utilizing now. And then for the library, there's just a lot of different areas in the library depending on who you need to talk to. So here's just the link to the library, all of their contact information there. And again, this is all in our comments as well. So if you need to contact any of our panelists areas or departments, please feel free to reach out to them for that. So we are here to help. So panelists, thank you again. We're going to just go ahead and wrap it up and offer a piece of advice, any parting wisdom that you might have with for our students here. And Kiara, we will start with you.
I would suggest, especially for this semester, to take advantage of as many resources on campus as possible. So that's something that obviously I encourage in a normal setting, but especially being remote, just like Dylan was saying earlier, it's really important to be really getting involved on campus and as many ways as you can. I know it's intimidating sometimes to be, speaking to faculty or trying to reach out to make appointments with different professional staff members on campus, but we are all really here to help you. So please don't hesitate to reach out. Just like Dylan said, personally emailing some folks, and really just trying to take advantage of everything. We've worked really hard. I know our department's worked really hard, and I'm sure every other department on campus has worked hard to make sure that our services are available for students even remotely, and trying to make that as easy for you to access as possible. So please just don't be hesitant to take advantage of anything that we're offering this fall.
Thanks, Kiara. Renee?
I think I can kind of echo that same message as well. So really, it's just reach out, find us, whether you're there in the library in person or if you want to use our Ask a Librarian. We'd be happy to help address any question. If there's something you've used in the past and you just can't find it or don't know if it exists this semester, just please ask us. And as Hayden mentioned, of course, we are on all of the social medias, and we invite you to look at those. We're posting a lot of new things. If you were current students before, we also had a bathroom newsletter. I've tried to get really creative. I'm the editor of that one. So we're doing virtual ones now. So it's going to come out a little bit more often and concentrate maybe just on one topic. So I've made those virtual, and they're going to go to all of our social media platforms. So if you liked those in the past, those are still going to exist, just kind of in a smaller and different platform as well. And then one thing I did want to mention, of course, if you're using the UCF mobile app, if you go all the way to the bottom when you first get in there and click on, I believe it's messages, you'll be able to opt in to a lot of things on campus, and the library is included in that. So if you opt into the library, then you'll get notices of any events, any workshops, anything that we're holding as well that would be easy for you. And then something new that we're doing this semester too, we're doing something called Research Tips Thursdays. These are short little videos that we're uploading, of course, on every Thursday. They're under 2 minutes long, and they just kind of help you with research tips, tricks, that type of thing, or something that might help you with doing a little bit more on your papers or different tools that we might have too that you could take advantage of as well. So please just feel free to contact us with any questions that you have as well.
Thank you so much, Renee. And Dylan?
Yeah, so once again, I really want to reiterate, as far as some of the key tips that I would recommend, takeaways at least from some of the information I shared, is definitely get involved, whether that's on campus, off campus, through one of our offices, through another workshop, whatever it might be, through a professor. There are so many opportunities for you to be able to get involved, to connect with potential areas of interest. It is really the best way to explore, for you to really get an idea, a feel of whether you actually want to pursue that or not, to talk with other individuals. In addition to that, it's excellent experience, allows you to sharpen any particular skill sets that you may have, and of course, building a larger network for yourself outside of UCF and beyond. The other big piece, the big takeaway that I want to give to you all once again is come in for advising at least once a semester, whether you're declared, undeclared, undecided. It is very important to make sure that there's not any sort of little hidden things or issues that you can't anticipate that we can easily see from our experience, but for you as a student may not be aware of. Primarily, I want to make everybody aware that if you're undeclared, undecided, uncertain, it is absolutely fine to be in any of those categories. In all reality, most students coming in, especially as freshmen, even if they have major cited, we find that a lot of them are pretty uncertain about that, and that's actually a normal thing to experience. So if you're uncertain, if you're undecided, you are absolutely fine. In fact, we encourage you to talk to us because we love talking with students who are in those categories, kind of help shed the light to illuminate things, turn on that light bulb, if you will. And finally, schedule plan early. I cannot state that enough. We, of course, have a number of advisors in our office, a number of advisors in the college advising offices, but students outnumber us far more numbers than what we have as far as advising staff. So if everybody's trying to come in for advising in middle of end of October, there's a chance that you may not get advising before it's time for you to sign up for classes. You have up until the beginning of the spring semester, the add drop week to sign up for courses, but by then things may not be available. So come in early, schedule plan early, so that way you know what to do when you're ready to register. And finally, for those of you that are prospective, that are looking to start UCF in the spring, we are going to hold orientation, spring orientation, during the first week of January, where we will work with you as far as your incoming credit, what you may have, and what you should actually be taking your first semester as you're looking to explore. So get involved, get advising. It's okay to be uncertain. Schedule plan early.
Thank you all. Really great advice from all of you, and lots of really great information from all of you in all of your areas. So there's a lot out there. You just have to take advantage of it. So I thank you all again. This video will stay on this page as well as on YouTube if you need to check back or reference any of the things that we spoke about this afternoon. So I thank all of our panelists again, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day.